3. I'm starting with the man in the mirror.
Oh, yeah.
I'm asking him to change his ways. Change.
No message could have been any clearer.
Yeah.
If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself, then make a change.
Na 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 na.
Oh.
Hey man,
Yeah.
it's a good day to be a podcaster, man.
No cap.
It's a good day to be a man alive. It's a good day to be around with my co-hosts and, you know, enjoy life, man. Lots of interesting things that went on this week.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, just a lot of good things going on in the world, man. So without further ado, episode 11, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
Come on, man.
All right. First topic of the day.
Not first topic of the day.
Oh, he has
We
something
have
special.
a shout out.
We have something.
We have a shout out. So, as many of you know, we have secret messages at the not at the end of our episode, riddled somewhere within the vast I should say the vast library of minutes that we have.
Or maybe you don't know if you're not listening.
Maybe you don't know. But some of our podcasts are a little lengthy, but you know, they're packed with great stuff. Anyway, within that we always drop secret messages. The person who found our secret messages this time was one of our faithful subscribers. They've been listening for a long time, and we really enjoy their comments, and we've seen them from the beginning. But Samantha Sammy, shout out to you, man.
Shout out, Samantha. We really appreciate you. You know, as you said before, podcasts can be pretty lengthy. So we know that you're sitting there and you're actually digesting it if you're paying attention, and you know the secret message coming up. So we love you. And we're thankful for you, and we'll always want to have you as one of our supporters. Welcome to the Enlightened family.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to one of our new Enlightened family members, Samantha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Emery's got a topic to start us off with, so go ahead.
I wouldn't really call it a topic now. I'd really call it a thought.
And so we're starting off the episode with the thought. We're just talking to the people, man.
And last episode was really Thanksgiving based in, you know, we said what we were thankful for. I know, Kaleb, you said that you were thankful for realizing yourself, getting to know yourself better.
Exactly.
And this year I was really thankful for being accountable. And, you know, both of us, they were two separate things, but they were really one and the same. And this year we grew. And this year we learned to change. So I would like to talk about self-growth, what you could do possibly, maybe take out of what we've seen and done this year.
Sure.
And just explore self-growth as a whole, what we would like to do in the future, and where we go from here being who we are now. So to start it off, this year, like I said, I really learned to be accountable. And different from Kaleb, he really took in a lot of new knowledge and perspectives. Me, I think I really honed in on my pre-existing notions and thoughts and ideas, and really tried to explore and understand who I was as a person. And, you know, I'm far from it. I wouldn't even say I've covered the ground level of what that would be. And
that's right.
I don't even understand it right now, to tell you the truth. But, you know, I think I'm inching towards it, or I'll say millimetering towards it, because, you know, still got a lot of work to do. But, you know, I'm getting there slowly but surely. But, Kaleb, what are some practices that you've undergone this year that have made you transform into a new person? Because before this podcast, if y'all looked at Kaleb, I mean, he was still a stand-up guy, but compared to now, it's completely different in just like months.
I'd agree. So would you like me to start with kind of starting from where I was to where I am now, or like actual methods? Because I could go. We
can get into the technicalities later. So
a little bit personal.
Yeah.
So, well, you know, there are certain themes that sort of permeate everybody's existence, and actually, I've been running a social experiment, and I've been telling people, describe your life using one word. And among all the challenges that you go through, among all the triumph, there is usually some sort of pervading theme that lasts over your life, or there's something that you have to overcome. Mine has been the desire for greatness, actually. I've always desired to be great. I've looked up to so many different figures in history. And, for the last, 4 or 5 years of my life, I could say I wasn't the intellect that you would see now. I always had it straight A's and stuff like that, but I was just going to class to regurgitate knowledge and regurgitate knowledge and just get A's on the test. But I wasn't really learning and enjoying school as I should have because I had one goal in my mind. I was going to be the greatest basketball player of all time, and I believed that in my soul. I believed that I was going to go to the NBA, and it happens to a lot of people. A lot of people get to go to the NBA. And, if I kept working hard at it, I'm sure I would have gone to college to play basketball. I still could go now. But I was really committed to practicing. But in that practice, I detached myself from my friends, my family, and basically the whole outside world. I was spending at least 8 hours a day in the gym, just grinding away, shooting the basketball, dribbling, running up and down the court, lifting weights, whatever it took. I was truly spilling myself out, but I created some sort of void in my life. There was things missing. And I also developed lots of insecurities. I was underconfident. As much practice as I got, I was underconfident. But we could go on for hours on the bad things that was in my life at the time. But, I can say, thankfully, COVID came, but it wasn't just COVID because this really started in January, this transformation. But why I always preach reading and books as such is because books are what truly changed my life. Because first I got into philosophy. I started reading things on Stoicism, and eventually I got into the monk way of life, and I'll describe that later. But once I made my mind my friend, I committed myself for months to just making my mind my friend, and I was able to get over some of my insecurities. And within making my mind my friend and closing this void within my inner universe, what I call my soul, I was actually able to open my mind to a whole bunch of other things. And when I was really young, I was super into science. And then me trying to live up to the expectations and to reach the bar of success set by other people within my community, because we live in a community that praises athletic achievement.
Yeah.
So in me trying to do that, I got away from the young scholar I used to be. But once I made my mind my friend, and I truly became introspective, and I just started developing a true love for myself, and I started to find things. Yeah, I started
channel those efforts into someplace else.
I channeled it into something else, and then came physics, and then came computer science, and I knew certain things, but I can tell you most of the stuff that I tell you on this podcast now, I learned from the beginning of March to where we are now in December, and I'm truly blessed for the transformation that I've been able to go through. Because, now I'll be honest, sorry to my teammates out there, but for the 2 hours that I'm at practice or the 2 hours that we're at the game, that's all I think about basketball now. Because a lot of people don't understand why I made this transformation, but I feel like I know in my soul, I truly have found something I love 1,000 times more than 1,000. I truly found something that I have committed my whole entire life to. And in becoming this intellect, for some reason, I was able to reconnect with my friends and my family and the universe around me.
Yeah, for me, it was pretty different. I wanted to toot my own horn, but I thought of myself as pretty smart before. I don't think I've really increased that intellect this year. I've really just found a way to go around it, if that makes sense, and make it my own, because before it was just information that I had in my head, but I've really taken this time to delve deeper into what I know and give it that sense of individuality that I always thought was necessary, because being unique or being stand out and different from others isn't really what I wish to achieve.
Yeah.
But it's being knowing of your worth and that is what makes the difference in the end, because we all have our own different strengths and weaknesses. And I've been getting to know my strengths and my weaknesses more. And it's been really fulfilling for me, because I just have taken this time to get to know myself before. Because if you had asked me last year, do I know who I am? And I would say yes. And then you would have to ask me, who are you? And I wouldn't be able to answer that question.
For sure.
And still now, I will not be able to answer that question completely, but I'm getting to an answer. I'm on the right path. I know the direction I need to take to find that answer, and I will be able to tell somebody who asks me that very soon.
What you said is absolutely beautiful, but that your answer to that question, it should constantly be changing.
Mm-hmm.
It should constantly change. We live in an ever-changing universe. Everything around you, us as humans, we're only able to see the macroscopic world, but we talked about quantum mechanics last week, and everything within the world is always changing. Temperature is just the movement of particles. Like we live in an ever-changing universe, so why should we be the ones that have to be static? No, we should also be within the universe and
make
also
the
changing
universe
as well.
move.
Yes,
we should be the reason the universe changes.
Absolutely.
Instead, we're watching our surroundings, and that gives us the perfect transition into what you can do to make the universe move, make your universe move, because we are the rulers of our own universe.
Mm-hmm.
And we live the lives that we would like to lead, regardless of what happens around us. Things may influence us, but in the end, we have the final decision regarding our destinies.
For sure.
So, some things, sorry, tangent. How you usually hear this year that mental health is more important than physical health?
Yeah.
And I don't know what spurred it, but I guess a lot of people are truly realizing that your mind is a palace.
Oh, yeah.
And it should be taken care of. You are the king or queen of your own story, and you should be treated as such.
Well, let's delve into a little bit of philosophy here. I'm going to actually talk about two schools of thought within philosophy, that of Stoicism and then the thinking of a monk, which I'll go on later, and that's the type of monk that I actually study is the Hindu spirituality. Anyway, first, the Stoicism, you were talking about how your mind is a palace and you should be the king of that palace. Well, within Stoicism, there is a thought of the inner citadel, which is sort of near
I've
that.
heard of that,
and,
yeah.
and that's like, it's your inner universe. And the rules to the citadel is that nothing on the outside can come in. Nothing, absolutely nothing. The only way something can reach that inner citadel is from betrayal from the inside. That betrayal is our human tendencies and our emotions. But that the illustration of the inner citadel really just presents us with the strength of mind, strength of soul, and that you truly are the I guess the master of your own world, and you can truly affect the things around you. And a lot of people believe that consciousness is quantum, and sort of protecting, not protecting, but perfecting your subconscious mind into being able to affect the macro world outside of your mind. But there's many things that can go into that, but that's really technical. You'd have to pick up a book on that. But there's some really simple things that we can do to help people find purpose.
Your mind really is the most, or I should rephrase it. All right, I'll start here. Mm-hmm. Your mind really is the strongest facet that you could hold, or it could be the weakest, depending on what you let into your heart and your inner citadel, as Kaleb was saying. To put it into, let me do some imagery here. Your little castle has its fortress around it, and you're receiving negative energy from people around you. Either you can let that energy just stay on the fortress, or you can let it break down those walls. And once it breaks down those walls, it'll just infiltrate your palace, take out your king, and that's when you're just getting a mental collapse, and
It's a wrap.
you're just feeling these dark thoughts and energies within you.
Even better than that is you're the one that dictates if that energy is negative or
Exactly.
positive.
How strong is your fortress?
Yeah, how strong
That's
is
up to you.
How strong is your fortress? you can say that there's negative energy coming at you, but you have the best fortress. But what's even a step further than that, and this is more of a monk mentality, but is to notice that all of the energy is of the same thing. And you only perceive that as negative. I said this on the podcast before. Everybody is the main character of their own story.
Exactly.
So it's within the dharma, which is something I'm going to describe, but it's within the dharma of people to, it's within the dharma of a human. It's their own tendency to enact their emotions and their thoughts on other people. Sometimes those are perceived as negative, but you always have the choice whether to choose if that's negative or not.
So what is the Dharma?
So this is the main message I want to convey to the viewers or the listeners. Dharma is a Sanskrit term, and it is an amalgamation of you can actually put it as an equation. It's passion plus skills plus service to the world, right? So, and this is how I found my Dharma, and this is how anybody can find their Dharma. You can find your Dharma through knowing what you're passionate about, what you're skilled at, and how you can do that to influence the world around you. I say this all the time, but people who find their true Dharma are artists. They paint the world around them with their strokes of genius. Everybody is unique in one way. There's nobody out there in the world that's you. You are the only you anywhere. There's no such thing as another you. You are unique. In that uniqueness is a specific kind of skill. There's a skill that you have, and it may be alike to somebody else's skill, but there's something about you that skill is fine-tuned. That skill is fine-tuned just to be you. So you have that skill. You find what you're passionate about. I'm passionate about being a multiplanetary species. I'm passionate about storytelling and superheroes.
Numerous passions.
There's numerous
That's
passions, yeah. So you find that skill, you find that passion, you find a way to mash those two together.
And you hone it, and you make it yours.
You make it yours.
And that's why I love the phrase "be yourself," because it's so simple, and yet it's so broad. Because who is yourself? Like I was saying before, I don't know who I am. Truly, I couldn't answer you that question. I may understand it in my head, but could I put it into words? No, because there are not enough words to describe your feelings. I think I did say that in another podcast.
You did.
But, the emotional spectrum is far too broad. I couldn't even call it a spectrum because it's even beyond that. It's far too broad to put into words. And, to say be yourself, you couldn't put that into words either, truly, if I'm being honest. Because, that's yourself.
Sure. I understand exactly what you're saying. And, once and back to Dharma, because what Emery is describing as finding yourself is this combination of skills and passion, right? But then once you find yourself, that's when you're able to be outlooking. And in outlooking is your connection to the universe, and your connection to the universe is service. Because a lot of people may not understand the significance of service to the world, but understand that us humans are nature. Something became of nature. We're birthed from the sun. The sun is the sun and stars in our cosmos are what produces the elements that make us up today. And within nature is service riddled around. I forgot who said this, but it was some philosopher. But he said, "Look at the trees. The trees are so fortunate. They are able to take on so much, the rain, wind, all these strong forces, people chopping down their family. But the trees, no matter what, they're always serving life. They're serving us. They're protecting us. They're shading us from the sun."
That begs the question.
Yeah.
Are we not trees ourselves? Look how far the human race has come from as building up civilization, building up societies, creating families, creating bonds among each other, withstanding the rain, all these forces of natures. Yeah, people die. Time passes, yet we're still here standing strong. And aren't we fortunate to be human beings?
Aren't we fortunate?
People take that for granted so much. And I was just closing up, but it shouldn't, because just think about the opportunities you're given, even if you have no opportunities, just to be alive, that is a blessing in itself.
I mean, just think about what humans are able to do. We're blessed with this evolutionary tool that an intricate design that we love to call the human brain. Our brain offers us with so much. For one, our ability to observe reality, and I always talk about our retinas collecting light and the functions within our brain pumping out some type of holographic universe that we call our reality. But not only that, we're able to question our universe, and we're able to make complex plans, and we're able to realize the past, present, and future. Just think about the power of memories. Memories are there. I mean, there could be many species out there that have no memory, and you can think about a loved one that may have passed, or you can think about even a TV show that you saw or a friend that you don't talk to. Everything that you've ever experienced lives on within your memories. So you're still able to somehow, what's the word? Interact with so many nodes within the universe. But yeah, man, that this connectedness to the universe is what leads you to service.
Yeah.
And once you complete this amalgamation of passion and skills, and then adding on how you're going to use yourself, what you offer to the world, use that to affect as many people as possible, whether that's the person right next to you, whether that's your community, whether that's the whole world. It's all in the same. All service is in the same, because this creates insecurity. Comparison is the thief of joy. Many people that want to serve the world, they're doing it from a place of ego. Because to truly become a person of mindfulness and grace, you have to sort of kill off your ego. But within that ego is people want to serve more than others. So they want to be the biggest tech guy. They want to be the best teacher in the world. They want to be all of this stuff.
Is that not greed?
It's greed,
That
but
is
it's
the
also
direct,
ego.
That is the direct opposite of what they're intending to do, because you're wishing to take from another, but you also want to give to another. Don't you think that's kind of contradictory?
Yes.
And it's like you said, people need to lose that ego, that way that they can truly serve others and build up their image of servitude.
Because you must notice that all service is of the same thing.
And earlier you spoke of memories and the intricacy of our brains being able to withhold these memories, and some organisms don't have those memories. And it reminded me sort of something I talked about with some other people yesterday. And we're talking about one of my friends said, isn't the point of life to die? First off, I don't agree with that, but it did get me thinking. These organisms that have no memories, these organisms that have no memories, aren't they just living day to day, not recalling what they're doing, just basically mindless drones?
Yeah.
What is the point to life? I mean, we're blessed with memories, but, what do you think of that? The point of our lives is to die.
Well, we could say those organisms that don't really function, like they don't have a realization of past, present, and future, they're not as conscious as we are. Our consciousness is at a different level. So an organism like that, they're just as good as AI that's just performing a function. I mean, they're just as good as carrying out a math equation. And but they also have their own dharma. They have their own dharma in which, like, I don't know, the apple tree. The apple tree their dharma is to grow these fruit and provide them to the world in which many animals and humans eat apples. So every living organism has its dharma. Every single piece of our universe has its dharma. But on to the point of life is to die, I'm not sure. I don't believe so. Within what I've read, and this is more of a Hindu philosophy. The point of life in that is to reach its creation. Because within Hindu philosophy, creation is basically put forth by their Lord, their God, and that Lord God is, you could say, is all perfect, all goodness. It has everything. It's extracted itself from the dualities of life, and it is life. So what humans do, they always try to basically, they want everybody wants good things in their life. They work so they can get money, so they can enjoy life. They have relationships so they can enjoy love. Everybody's trying to get towards the good things in life. Those good things all derive from what they perceive as the Lord. And I mean, whatever our creation is. So you could say that human life, or any life in general, is to return to its creation, because we all us in physics, we're trying to come up with a theory of everything. We're trying to see what put forth the Big Bang, what basically orchestrates our universe. Everything that humans do, whether it's striving for goodness or whether it's questioning their universe, is to return to their creation.
To me, it seems like the line that, excuse me, the phrase, the point of living is only to die, is pretty much representative of an existential crisis. Because, that's basically questioning existence itself. It's only taking a look at birth and demise. And, what about everything in between? Isn't that what makes up both life and death?
Oh, yeah.
So usually people like to think that death outweighs life in, importance, because the person does not exist anymore. But you don't think about what about before they existed? Like, I am no one to predict who will be born, what their life will be like. It's impossible. You can't imagine it. So who is to say that life is only for death, when you can't even tell what life is supposed to be?
Yeah. I mean,
there's no way to give meaning to something that you don't know completely.
For sure. I agree. I mean, we talked about the meaning of life and what is humanity for the longest on this show. It's just, you really need to, it's going towards your creation. I mean, it's fulfilling your dharma, and it's serving other people. Because I sort of view myself as an instrument now that I've got past lots of my insecurities and my negative thoughts about the world. I see myself as purely an instrument for goodness. Within that goodness, I'm able to learn science, and I'm able to come up with these things, and I have goals in life to propel human excellence for perpetuity. But I mean, there's so many things in which we can do. I mean, within that, you're able to serve the world. So humanity is something of itself, but I also see humanity as nature. And in nature, the purpose of nature is service. Things in nature serve one another. But I think this is great philosophical talk, but I think we should also go into the people that are listening now. 2020 has been a year of hopelessness for many. It has been a year of sadness, has been a year of a perception of missed opportunity. So I believe it's our duty now to sort of give ways in which people can enhance their lives after 2020. Now, one thing I can say is difficulty births the greatest humans to ever live. And from tough times, what comes out is always strong people.
Why do you think every superhero has a sad origin story? It's never a rich kid that just, made technology and starts just saving the world to give to others.
Yeah.
No.
Even the rich kids, Tony Stark's dad died.
Exactly.
They
all experienced some sort of loss that made them strive to do better for others.
Because uncertainty and difficulties garner the best benefits. That's just a way of life, because in our darkest times is where we find that little spark of light within the darkness of our inner universe, or our inner citadel. So one thing that I can recommend, if you're trying to better yourself, before books, before anything else that you do, say meditation. Meditation, for sure. And a lot of people view meditation as a difficulty, but once you truly commit to yourself, once you truly commit to meditation, you're able to live within a meditative state. This has been me, because I don't like to feel stressed, but I will admit now that I've been stressed lately with my college stuff. And within that stress, you're able to live within a meditative state. Now, even if I can't meditate at night or in the morning, even if I don't live to that obligation to myself, I'm able to just meditate anywhere with my whether I'm driving, I'm able to breathe and release. I'm able to do so many things, and I'm able to just collect my thoughts. And in that meditation, you're just truly able. It's making your mind your friend.
Hey,
you're learning yourself.
Take them through a little breathing routine right now for a sec.
So
break in the podcast.
Yeah,
calm yourself.
Yeah. So this is the one. This is my go-to. So this is how you do it. You breathe in for 4 seconds. You hold for 4 seconds. Those 4 seconds on the hold, you count for even longer. That slows your heart rate, and then you push out for 4 seconds. So we can do that now.
I'm gonna do it with y'all. Let's go.
In for 4. Hold. Release. In for 4, hold for 4, release for 4. This and soon as I do that one time, you can sort of like sense the optic, the pitch in my voice change, because once I'm doing that, I'm already getting into my meditative state. Mm-hmm. I'm already being connected with my subconscious mind, because people say we don't use all of our mind. People say we only use 17% of our brain. Well, we're always using our brain, but there's this back consciousness. There's like, people like to call it the back of your brain. There's so much else of yourself that you can connect to. Why do you have dreams? You're not choosing what these dreams are. It's your subconscious coming up with these dreams. Why do you have deja vu? Deja vu is it trying to correct false memories. There's this entire subconscious mind that you're able to attach to. But while you're doing this meditation, there's also something that you can do. So while you're breathing, just think to yourself. You want to count your heartbeat, feel your heartbeat, and you want to place that rhythm within your mind. And after you're doing that, it's just 2 things you need to say to yourself. The first thing is, I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. Say that. Then after that, say, I'm exactly where I need to be. And this connects you to fate, and this connects you to your destiny. I'm exactly where I'm meant to be is your fate. Your fate is, this is where I'm meant to be today because I'm going to do something. Then you go to your destiny. That's where I'm exactly where I need to be. So I'm in this state, whether I'm super sad, whether I'm super happy. This sentiment shows you that where you are at now, you're being primed for a better tomorrow. You're being primed for serving the world. You're being primed to become your best self. You're being primed to living within your dharma.
Can I add something to that?
Sure.
Maybe if you'd like to add to your routine, after you've told yourselves those 2 phrases, try to coin one phrase for yourself.
Oh, yeah.
One thing that gives yourself that individuality that you need to tell yourself to be more you, be yourself.
Quick thing, do you read on any monk stuff or any meditative stuff?
No.
That right there, what you said, and this shows you that you don't necessarily have to go out and read certain things in order to learn, because their human intuition is the greatest gift. And that's actually Emery's greatest quality, because he's able to think of these things. He's able to think of these things without even reading it.
Making me blush, dog.
This is actually one of the biggest things within the meditative philosophy, being a part of this yogic state, is actually like coining a phrase, or even a chant. A lot of people use there's a large meaning behind is like what's in cartoons. People kind of make fun of it, but is actually a serious thing, and it's the materialization of consciousness. But yeah, man, there's I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. I'm exactly where I need to be. That's just the thing I tell myself. Also, another thing I tell myself is, let everyone in the world feel freedom and joy, and let my thoughts, words, and actions contribute to this freedom and joy in some way. That simple phrase is the key to life. Mm-hmm. Let everybody in the world, that's the key to life, the key to service. Let everyone in the world feel joy, happiness, freedom. And let each of my thoughts, words, and actions in some way, shape, or form contribute to this happiness or joy. There's nothing else. Service is the highest purpose in life. There's nothing else you need.
That was very well spoken, Kaleb. I have another tip for you guys. Maybe you want to take this in, maybe you don't. That's the point of the podcast. Take in what you may.
Sure.
What I'd like to say is, this may come out as a bit irresponsible, but try to let go of some of the stress-inducing things you have, you know, because
Dude, you're a monk. You're a monk.
Right, hold on.
Go ahead.
Be it important or not, because I don't know what the stakes are in your lives, whether you have like a job that you need to go at and you need to give everything to provide for yourself and others, but you know, be it important or not, try to let go of some of the things you have, positive or negative energy, to open pathways to just become more of yourself and to find yourself, because you know, sometimes letting go is the key to gaining more than you ever knew you could possibly gain.
This letting go is detachment.
Mm-hmm.
People talk about the main things with monks. People say monks are isolated. They could be a whole bunch of things, whatever. But the main purpose within being a monk is, other than the right use of energy, because that's the meaning of the word monk, the right use of energy. In this correct usage is detachment. Detachment is exactly what Emery is talking about. And I guess I could tell a little story. This is something I learned within the scripture of the Bhagavad Gita, which is a book of Hindu spirituality. But because detaching and letting go, what Emery said, is really detaching from the dualities in life. The dualities are happy, sad, freedom, captivity, success, and failure. But you need to detach from these dualities and recognize they are all of the same thing. Let me illustrate. Within this book, it describes the three gunas, and there are three: sattva, tamas, and rajas. Sattva, is goodness. So all of the good things in the world. And then rajas is the negative. It's not negative. It's not necessarily negative, but it's just activity. Rajas is activity. So passion, desire, certain activity-driven emotions, certain activity-driven phenomena. And then tamas is, and excuse me if I'm pronouncing these wrong, because I'm not Hindu. I just read the book. But tamas is inertia. It's I guess you could call it negative energy. It's inertia. It's certain sadness. It's deep pain. But these three gunas are all derived of the same thing. They all come from Prakriti. They all come from the Lord. And in this, you notice that since goodness, sadness, activity, all the physical phenomena, all of the emotion that we have, since it all comes of the same from the same place, there's no reason in attaching to success or failure or happiness to sadness. You notice in detachment that these are all of the same thing. You detach yourself from the dualities of life and you devote yourself to living your dharma and service.
And you know, like me and Kaleb, we're not like missionaries or anything.
Sure.
I know maybe some people have come onto this podcast and heard us talking about a lot of religious, spiritual stuff, but even if you're somebody who doesn't believe completely, I don't know, whatever. But I'm sure there are things that you can say that are true, that we speak of, these things that you feel, be it energy or not, that you can probably understand and take in. So, you know, this is for everybody, not just if you're down these avenues.
This is absolutely for everybody. And maybe not the three gunas. Maybe you don't believe in that. But whether you believe in,
however you feel it.
Whether you believe in you're spiritual or not, you can admit that there are certain themes that place. You can say that there's goodness, that there's activity, and that there's a negative energy. You can say that you can say that whether you're religious or not. And meditation is not just religious or monk-like. It's also scientific. Try it. Whether just please try meditating for a week. Whether you can have a quick heart rate, you can be anxious. I promise you, if you teach yourself how to meditate and collect your thoughts, you will see that heart rate drop.
Yeah.
Meditation is scientific. It's not spiritual. It's scientific.
And this is something we can definitely recommend to you guys. We're not like scammers or anything. Even if we tell you to meditate, it's not like you're reading You're reading something like
self-help
step by
book.
step of what we're telling you to
Yeah.
do. Feel it yourself.
Yeah.
Whatever you're telling yourself is true. However you need to feel it, go feel it. Because that's all you. Be yourself.
All right. So, well, be yourself. We can go into the next thing. Authenticity. I said that before. There is no other you but you in this universe. You are the only you. So if you want to make it big on TikTok, or you want to become a great writer, or whatever you want to do within the world, be yourself. You have a dharma specific to you. There is no other being. There is no other thing that shares your dharma. You have your own fine-tuned skills. You are passionate about whatever things that you love, and you can serve the world.
And replicas and copies, they don't exist at all.
For sure.
I don't know why those are terms at all. Well, actually, I do, because at face value, they can be a copy or a replica. But if you really dig deep anatomically, everything's different. If
The quantum universe.
if an artist wanted to repaint Van Gogh's various portraits or whatever, I don't know.
Starry Night.
Starry Night. I actually did know that. If they wanted to replicate that, no matter how fine-tuned they may be in Van Gogh's specific art form, or whether he used his left or right hand to stroke the brush onto the canvas, it may look alike at face value, but it won't be when you take a deeper look. Like, no matter how much it may seem that way.
Yeah, man. So finding yourself, authenticity. Next, I could say enriching yourself. So books. And look, you don't have to just read books, because when I tell you, I do read a lot, but I have school and I have family responsibilities. So in this enriching yourself, YouTube is honestly the greatest place in the universe. I will say that, because there are hours of lectures that I've listened to. Maybe you don't like lectures. There's informational videos. I'm sure Emery has gotten lots of his knowledge in watching videos. I get maybe even more than what I read in books. Maybe more than what I get, information that I get from books is what I get from videos. And the internet is great. There's a brevity of articles and so many things on the internet. The internet is absolutely amazing. It's one of the greatest gifts to human society.
Because just imagine, back in the day, if somebody in Timbuktu had some I don't know why I chose that. Somebody in Timbuktu had some information that they didn't choose to write like an informative essay about, or put in like a scientific journal. How would somebody in Wisconsin find that?
Exactly.
The internet is a beautiful outlet for those who may not be book smart, or wants to write it down or publish it, or whatever they may want to do, to share that information with others, put it online. I believe that humans, knowledge-wise, are at the highest that they have ever been in history.
Yeah,
right
for sure.
now.
And look, the human brain, hardware-wise, hasn't necessarily changed in 70,000 years, but software, the things that humans are subject to, the things that we surround ourselves within our universe, the tools like the internet, we have progressed so exponentially. And there are, if you want to learn something, there are so many courses on the internet. I've taken, like I said, a brevity of courses. There's so many things on the internet that you could consume and that you can learn. So we've gone to finding yourself, to realizing yourself and being authentic. Then we went to enriching your mind. And the next thing, and this doesn't have to all be in an order, the next thing, which can be the last thing, well, maybe not the last thing, but the next thing, which is also could be the most important thing, is connections, man. Once you find yourself, and once you are once you are just truly like enveloped within love of yourself, and enveloped within your own dharma and your own purpose, and you're not going out to others to take things from them, you're only purely just primed to giving and experiencing and loving. That's when you go out and make connections. Connect with as many people out there in the world. First, your family. I believe family is so important, but also there are families across the entire universe. I have my family here. I have my family, my mom, my dad, and all that. I also have my outside family, cousins, uncles, things as such. I have my Enlightened Brothers family, me, Emery, our guests, the viewers. I have my science family, everybody who loves physics. I have my school family, everybody within our program at school. So it doesn't have to just be that. Find some sense of connection. Find a family. That, other than the bad things about social media, I can say social media creates communities. There is a family out there for anyone, and we're all within one big family, the human race.
And communities as a whole, they are great. Toxic communities, but you can
Hey.
you can still argue that being with another group of people and sharing those ideas is a good thing.
Yeah.
Regardless of where those ideas may take you.
For
Because,
sure.
A king doesn't rule a country without his knight and his councilmen, those trusted people. A president doesn't rule without choosing his cabinet, those trusted people that will give them advice. And even God, he has his angels within. Now, I'm sure that God doesn't need those angels because, he's God. But, at the end of the day, those people that you can trust, those people that you can go to, and those people that you love and you can share these connections with. That's why bonds are the most important thing that you could ever say that there is on this earth, because bonds are the seed that planted love. And love, it truly is the most important thing that you could find on this earth.
That may be the meaning to life, the meaning to humanity is connections. Because look, nothing fun happens in isolation. I mean, I isolate myself when I go deep into learning something, but I come out of that isolation to share it with the world. I come out of that isolation to share it to you guys. Isaac Newton, Albert Einstein, they probably have come up with many of theories in isolation, but there's no point in coming up with that theory if they don't share it out with the world around them.
Yeah, man. You can find fun and joy in being with yourself, and that is great.
Yeah.
But in the long run, you think you could live 1,000 years without having a conversation with nobody?
Exactly.
No, you're going to go crazy.
Well, scientifically,
you're going to go dumb. Go
it's
stupid.
It's scientifically shown that humans are a creature of strong sociality.
Yep.
I say that a lot.
I hear that a lot.
And in that is, there have been studies that show like people can't go like, what is it, 10 days without a conversation without going crazy? Is it something like that?
I'd believe it.
I mean, people in solitary confinement, you see them go wild. Now, I will say, in the first two steps that we gave to you, if you become truly self-loving, you can last a lot longer than those people in solitary confinement. But at the end of the day, you do have to connect. So now we have finding yourself, becoming yourself, being authentic. We have enriching yourself. We have connecting. And now it's the final piece of the puzzle, my favorite piece of the puzzle. It's within those connections, you use all of that experience in finding yourself, being yourself, and connecting to others, enriching yourself, and affect your world. Like I said earlier, use your brush of genius and stroke the universe. Stroke the universe that is the canvas that is in front of you. Affect that outside of you. That can be the person next to you. That can be your neighborhood. That can be your community. That can be your state, country, continent, the entire world. Service is the highest purpose in life.
And if you do believe in a purpose of life, do you honestly think deep down in your heart that some people are born in this world just to be dumb and stupid? Of course not. Everybody has their own stroke of genius, as Kaleb just said. Everybody has their own outlet where they can direct things. And, from the point in your baby, when you're a baby, your destiny is not written, because you could do anything. It's true when your parents say you can do anything that you set your mind to, because who is to say what your strengths are? If you read and you study on it, your strength could be anything that you choose it to be. Absolutely. So, all the outlets are open. Everything is available to you. You just have to go get it. Mind over matter. Chase your dreams. It's easy as that. It's not as easy as that, but it's as simple as that. Just do it. Lay down the groundwork. You'll get there eventually.
Good, man. In order to achieve your dreams in life, you must work tirelessly. And that's the positive thing in being a perfectionist. Within being a monk, you understand that there's no success or failure. There's just being. But at the same time, when you're trying to chase your dreams, you know that you must keep yourself accountable and work tirelessly. If there's one thing you want to do, you must spill out your guts. You must spill out yourself onto this thing. You must commit yourself and the best thing to commit yourself is that service, and then you're able to, in that committing yourself to service, you're able to work within your dharma. And working within your dharma is how you achieve true fulfillment in life, because that dharma isn't the same as Emery's, isn't the same as mine, isn't the same as anyone else in the universe.
Sometimes you just have to grab a hold of that chicken and snap its neck.
That's a certain way to look at it.
We haven't had an animal killing metaphor in a while.
We haven't.
Put it in there.
People
Sorry, PETA.
Bro, when you said PETA, I was thinking of PETA from Hunger Games. PETA, no.
Anyway, we've been going on this a long time, and through this segment, if there was anything that you feel that didn't really apply to you, or maybe all of it, throw it out. Find your own meaning. I just hope that we influenced you somehow to get to that meaning some way. Take that first step, not even a first step. Take that first crawl, not even a crawl. Just be.
Just be, man. As you know, we love each and every one of you, and that's been episode 11. No, I'm messing. But, more than anything, as I've found my connection to the universe, and sometimes our ego does place us in competition with others, but at the same time, what I truly deep down in my heart want is for everyone to realize their true dharma, and for everyone to reach just true fulfillment, and in that is all the things that we talked about you. So before we close it out, I just wanted to give those 5 things. It's realizing yourself, making your mind your friend, becoming yourself. Next is being authentic. It's knowing who you are and, living within that. It's finding your dharma. Next is enriching yourself, learning. Fourth is making connections, becoming connected to your universe, and like I said, being more connected to all the families that comprise your life. And then fifth, service. Thank you.
And last thing to wrap it up, I don't want to paint the picture of me and Kaleb being know-it-alls. We're probably going to not do some of the things we said, be hypocritical,
sure,
and, make all these mistakes. But, it takes a real genius to admit that he is a fool.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's hyping myself up again.
Go ahead.
Because, I'm that guy. What can I say? Caleb's that guy too, but
for sure.
I'm that guy too. But just realizing that you are not up to par can help you raise the bar to become up to par. Damn, I'm rhyming. It's not even freestyle time.
Freestyle time.
All right. Well, that's it from me on this. That's it.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, and let's go into the next segment.
Wait. Best transition time. What's the hidden message for this episode, Kaleb?
The hidden message. All right. Well, as many of you know, whether you're listening, if you're listening not on YouTube, skip on over to YouTube and comment this down below.
Yeah, because we want to know you're here.
Yeah, and if you're
get you a little shout out, please.
And I just found out we have basically 170 weekly listeners, which
is
absolutely crazy.
Let's go.
Sometimes it goes below, sometimes it goes up.
It's all right.
Whatever. Anyway, the secret message, man. Let's say, I will make my mind my friend.
Will you make your mind your friend? Comment down below if you will.
Yes. Just say, I will make my mind my friend. Comment down below. Thank you.
Too long of a section. Yeah. Not getting really hidden anymore. Let's move on.
Next topic. All right. So, DeepMind. It's an AI company, and they've done some absolutely great things. DeepMind has put forth their new AlphaFold 2 model. What this AlphaFold 2 model has done is solve the 50-year-long issue of protein folding. And we usually get into science, and I try to explain things. A lot of people know what proteins are, but they don't really know the true functionality of proteins. So Not to go too deep, but proteins are basically made of these little things called amino acids. So a protein is a string of
I know what
amino.
those are.
Yeah, it's a string of amino acids that fold into 3D structures, and they're the fundamental building blocks of life, and they do all the work in our bodies. How does blood flow work? How do we see light? How do we move our muscles? All of that is within the proteins within our body. What this AlphaFold 2 basically does is it's able to predict the folding structure of these proteins, and it's able to realize them, and it's able to predict them. It's able to take a string of amino acids. So, because when you flatten out a protein, it's each of the 20 amino acids lined up, and what AlphaFold 2 is able to do is basically use that string, take it within itself. It's an end-to-end learning model. We'll talk about that later. It's able to take that within its own self and predict what the protein folding will be. And in this prediction, there's a whole slew of implications. But to keep going on this functionality, how it's tested, it's basically scored on what we call a GDT, a global distance test. And this basically measures the atomic accuracy in which the AI can predict the folding pattern. Because we're able to read the folding pattern, but we're not able to predict it based off of the amino acids.
Okay.
Basically, the impact of this so far, this has actually been the biggest advancement in structural biology in 20 years. This is one of the biggest advancements in AI in the past few decades. This is possibly going to end up being the first Nobel Prize award for a machine learning model, which is absolutely insane. And this has been one of the highest levels of prediction performance that we've ever seen. So, in us being able to predict protein folding, it's just a slew of different functionalities, and we're gonna go over the instant implications now, and then the future implications. But guys, we're in a global pandemic. Using this AlphaFold 2 and AI systems like it, we're going to be able to predict proteins, and within proteins are the functions of disease progression. Right. So we'll be able to predict and develop new proteins that will be able to stop disease progression. We'll be able to develop new medicines for people. And this is just great for all that has to do with medical, but it also is able to enhance us. I am a proponent of anti-aging, so we'll be able to use this to design proteins that will be able to regenerate maybe new limbs, but regenerate new cells within our body. And this goes on to anti-aging. And what it also does, it shows that artificial intelligence and computer systems are truly the ultimate supplement to human life. These types of things are able to do things that us as solely humans aren't able to even think about doing, because it was able to predict these models that would take humans years to do. It was able to do it within under an hour.
So do you know how long they've been developing and what it took basically to get up to this point?
Okay, well, the whole problem of protein folding has been going on for 50 years.
Oh, for real?
It's been a 50-year-long problem.
This is groundbreaking then,
yes.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, it's absolutely groundbreaking. It's what we it's coined with the term CASP. But this problem has gone on for 50 years.
I was about to say CRISPR, but that is another thing.
But this will able to be an assistant to CRISPR, or it might supersede CRISPR. Who knows? But yes, this has been a 50-year-long problem, and DeepMind has been working on this for the past few years, and it truly came up with something. But I just want to illustrate the power of what this model can do. This not only is this machine learning, but it is something we like to call end-to-end learning, because whenever you're doing a task around the house, or whenever you think of your body, you think of let's just say you're sweeping a broom, okay? There's your mind doing work. Your mind has to conceptualize and basically you enact certain things on your nervous system. Your nerves travel down, tell your muscles to move in a certain functionality. So all these things within computer science are what we call modules. But what end-to-end learning is I'll use the exact definition here. It's a complex learning system represented by a single model, specifically deep learning, that represents a complete target system, bypassing the intermediate layers usually present in traditional pipeline designs.
Okay.
So, other than having little nodes here and there and little modules, and because when you do that with an AI, you have to make each model and optimize each module perfectly. But in this end-to-end model, basically, it's a
Does
simple
it
function.
automatically?
Yeah, automatically you give it the string, it spits out the prediction. And it's able to do these predictions at such a high efficiency, man. It's absolutely great.
So we're getting close to a really, really real deal automated society.
Yeah.
And, hopefully we don't end up like the fat people on Wall-E. But,
But
this is crazy.
I mean, it truly shows us it shows us as AI going towards super intelligence. And last week I talked about my theme of the week being quantum physics. This week my theme was super intelligence and how super intelligence will affect us as a society. And everybody, I'm watching The Matrix right now again. Everybody likes to think of AI overthrowing us and AI revolution and AI truly like being a hindrance to human society, but it hasn't shown any aspect of it being anything negative yet. And hopefully for the future, we're able to engineer something we like to call good AI. Using neuroscience, hopefully being able to teach AI ethics and emotions, we'll be able to come up with super intelligent models that will purely be one of a model that can truly enhance human life. But let's just talk about proteins right now. Proteins are like the true inner workings of what life is. So in that, first we can go on to medicine. We always talk about ending human suffering. We are able to, within proteins, designing proteins to like combat so many diseases, because there's so many diseases that plague us today. Cancer. Yeah. I mean, how many people lose loved ones to cancer?
Innumerable.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just, this is truly a great breakthrough, and ow. I bit my tongue.
All right, hold on.
That hurt. Go ahead. You talk. You talk. Why? Oh my God! I just bit my tongue. That hurt. Oh gosh.
All right. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh, I've realized that in these podcasts from episode to episode, we're on episode 11 now. We basically just been building on these ideas and just getting. It's because he talked too much. See what happens? See what happens? But we're building on all these ideas, and soon enough, Kaleb's going to be able to write a freaking scientific research paper on everything that he's spoken on.
Exactly.
And, I'm going to be a philosopher. They're going to talk about Socrates and Plato and all them other dudes, and they're going to say Emery.
Yes, sir.
Not even my last name, just Emery and a Greek chiseling of my face.
Having one,
they gonna spray it bronze because I'm black.
Having a one-word name, having one-word nomenclature is the most powerful thing you can be. Yeah. Just being called one word, like not your first and last name, like LeBron, Jordan, Socrates, Epictetus. Like just having one word, Tesla.
Yeah,
crazy, man.
Yeah,
but I mean, AI is just such a powerful tool, and predictive AI, which is basically what machine learning can do. It can recognize patterns and predict so many things. It's able to do lots of things that assist us as humans. Like we talk about self-driving cars. I mean, how cool is that? One of the greatest revelations that I've thought about lately was optimizing energy consumption. So because the reason why your electricity bill is so high is because it's not using this electricity efficiently. It's just pumping in fast-moving electrons, moving at super high speeds, and you're wasting a lot of that energy. But using artificial intelligence and optimizing efficiency, your electricity bill will be zero. And this will also close the internet gap, because there are so many great minds in third world countries that aren't able to do certain things because they have no electricity. So making electricity free, we can do that using artificial intelligence and using condensed matter or just material science in general. We're going to be able to literally electricity should be like water within the next 3 decades, I believe. Electricity shouldn't cost much.
And the energy outputs are going to be completely regulated?
Yeah, it'll be regulated by machine learning.
Leave it to the droids, people.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, that leads us to super intelligence and leads us to the singularity. A lot of people are scared that the AI will become so much smarter than us. And what we like to tell the AI is like, some people say we're telling the AI to optimize goodness in the world. And optimizing that goodness, the AI may decide that humans are bad for the earth and kill off all the humans. Like, we've heard that story countless of times. But I don't see it as that way. I see the future of AI as truly the ultimate supplement to human life.
If that happened, then humans are the dumbest species to ever exist because there were countless warnings against it.
Yeah.
So I'm just hopeful that that doesn't happen.
Well, if that is the case, then I forgot to say it on this episode. If that's the case, then AI is a great filter. In turn, we must get past the great filter, people. So AI revolution could be one of the great filters that we have to go forth. And a lot of people have certain combative designs to this. The one I like, there's two that I love. The one that I love is sort of immersing ourselves with AI and like interacting with the AI. And we talked about this with the Sword Art Online anime, but like truly like basically connecting with AI and cultivating an AI that loves humanity and that truly has consciousness and works with us as species in society. Like you look in Star Wars, C-3PO is no different than any other person. They see C-3PO and R2-D2 as people.
And that's the thing, people. I brought this up in another podcast as well with the game Detroit Become Human, but in that game, the AI is oppressed because people believe that they're taking from their civilization and they feel like they're losing Earth to another species that supersedes them.
True.
And, I hope that's not the case, but I really can say this is a prediction. Things will turn out in some fashion like that because you see it even with us as humans, not another species or type of intelligence. People hate each other. Yeah. So why wouldn't it occur when we're bringing in a whole different species to work with ours? It's bound to happen, but I don't know to what degree it is.
And because people say that there's certain things that humans can do that robots just can't. But, I mean, within AI and hopefully reaching computational consciousness, we'll be able to maybe impart with them ethics and emotions, and they'll just eventually become humans that can just compute at quicker speeds. And that is artificial superintelligence. But the way to combat this is why Elon Musk wants to put the chips in our head, or this is why Elon Musk has put forth his company Neuralink. Neuralink is a way for humans to enhance themselves and sort of it is infusing ourselves with artificial intelligence, but it's don't look at it as that. Look at it as because we have 3 layers. We have layers in our brain. We have the limbic system, we have the neural cortex, and then we have the highest part of our brain, which separates us from all other things that allows us to be this intuitive and question our universe. But with Neuralink, we're basically just adding a 4th layer of our computational being and our consciousness, adding a 4th layer and just allowing us to do a brevity of things. And I'll go on to Neuralink in a second because I know you want to talk about something. So go ahead. But Neuralink is just something that's
I just wanted to
truly provide us with beauty.
Ask you. I know you're for that brain implant chip, whatever. Sure. Neuralink, but dang, I was just wondering. Do you think that it would be all right to allow AI to? Well, you can argue that they already have, but surpass the human race in terms of functionality, intelligence, knowledge?
Well, it depends. It truly depends.
Because do you think that would take away from the meaning of us to live on Earth?
If we have nothing to do, what are we going to do? Sit and play music all the time? Because there will be AI that will eventually be able to act, act as well as act, like, because they'll be able to mimic other actors. But I feel like
gonna make these AI droids. They're gonna give them make them androids with human skin or something of the sort.
Yeah,
so,
true. Yeah. And I believe that actors and things as such will be here to stay for many long years. But at the same time, the ends to AI are truly boundless. But that's why I like Neuralink because we're able to infuse ourselves with artificial intelligence, add that extra layer. You could call it a tertiary layer, whatever. And in that, we're going to be able to just truly enhance ourselves. But it depends on what that AI is able to do with us, because the near implications is that it's just a supplement to human life, and we'll be in self-driving cars and space elevators, and we'll be able to send, what I like about artificial intelligence is the ability to send out modular robots into space and construct a Mars base, a moon base, and, doing a whole bunch of things outside of Earth. That's why I like AI, but it will basically be an optimization. But, I don't really think about it much. Like, what will we do if there's super intelligence? There's a great book called Super Intelligence.
Do we plan ahead, or is that a worry later,
No.
think about now thing?
We need to plan ahead. We truly need to plan ahead. And that's going to be within the engineering of the AI systems. That's learning the AI systems, what we can and can't do. And, maybe artificial intelligence, we perceive it as that now, but at the same time, I always like to look at this, look at it this way. I talked about you with this in episode 5. I don't know, what's a technological advancement? Some type of learning. Well, we could say books and internet consumption. Somebody in the past may have been like, what are we going to do when, you could say, what are teachers going to do when there's all these courses out on the internet, instead of just being in schools, brick and mortar, and having books and textbooks and stuff like that. But we now know that teaching is more than just giving the information. It's relating that information, and it's doing a lot of things. So, like, there's certain
communicating.
It's communication. So there's certain things within all human functions that we are able to do. So that it will right now, AI is very narrow, and it can do lots of things, and it will supersede humanity in many ways. But within all that stuff, it'll truly just be a supplement to human life, and eventually we'll be able to live with humanity, because the whole point of birth is to birth something better than yourself.
Right.
What humanity is doing right now is going to eventually birth a species better than itself. And maybe within that's where we go towards infusing ourselves with the AI, or the singularity, uploading our consciousness to robots or to the cloud, because we know that the Earth isn't going to be here forever. We know that the sun isn't going to be here forever. So think millions of years down the road, or think if there's a huge asteroid coming.
What isn't finite?
What isn't finite? We need to displace ourselves. Becoming one with the AI, we'll be able to transport ourselves to distant galaxies and distant universes, and basically hibernate for the time, or use warp drives and basically take ourselves across the universe. So yeah, there's many things that we can do, man.
Yeah. About the appearance of AI, I was saying before, they gonna look like humans, like us.
Oh yeah.
I don't think if there's a scientist out here, somebody that's 3D printing skin for these robots, don't make them look like us. We have to differentiate somehow. They're not humans.
For sure.
Like, they're AI, they're robots, exactly what they are. Don't try to make them something they're not.
I don't know, man. These AI
That's
models,
creepy, man.
These AI models, like, once they have consciousness, I feel like we'll show a deeper love. If we're able to do computational consciousness, if that's a possibility, they will truly become one with us. That's like the Sword Art Online anime. When they're in the game, they're no different from the AI. They're literally experiencing those things, because those AI have emotions within themselves too. Quick pause. It's getting a little dark, so we kind of want to expedite a little bit, because we have to get to the debate too.
Yeah,
so,
isn't this the end of it? Or what are you about to talk about?
Let's just bring it to a close.
All right. Do you have something else on this topic?
No, man. It's just like, I want y'all to really look deep into what the AI world has to offer. There's so many things, and AI is truly humanity's greatest gift to the universe. Maybe there's AI out there, but I mean, AI is beautiful, man. It's a beautiful world.
Anyway, it's getting dark. We're getting dark.
Yeah.
Let's wrap up.
We're losing light, and we don't have the best studio set up.
Maybe some other time in the near future we can do Enlightened Brothers After Hours. It'll be this dark usually.
Yeah.
Not now.
I mean, because I would love to talk in the dark. We just need a super light setup, but we're using some lights above us right now. So if the accent is changing, bear with us. Do you want to talk about the monoliths? Let's talk about the monoliths.
We can pause because we don't really have anything to say on them, really.
Let's talk about it for just 2 minutes.
So basically, well, I could say,
yeah, go ahead.
In Utah, Romania, and Southern California, right? 3 steel beams appeared out of nowhere. I read somewhere that one of them was like in a cavern or like a little basically an area that was inaccessible to humans unless you had like a helicopter or some other form of like aerial transportation.
The one in Utah.
Yeah, the one in Utah. So basically, what's going on?
Yeah, so the one in Romania was placed next to a monument, but we have found now. Well, first, people thought it could have been aliens. It could have been a secret government project. No.
Was it art?
Yes. And we didn't even know it's art. Conspiracy has debunked this, or conspiracy has been debunked. There were people caught breaking down the monolith into pieces. They actually break down into 4 pieces. This was just a stunt art project. They're now selling the monoliths for $63,000 a piece.
Just steel beams, dog.
So yeah, it's just steel beams. I mean, they're beautiful and they do lots of great things, but it was just an art project. So yeah, no aliens, no nothing. Conspiracy debunked.
That's pretty cool though. The grand scope of that Utah, Romania, and California.
Yeah, lots of different places. But now, guys, quick, but it is debate time. What is the best type of transportation? We're going to do this lightning quick. What is the best type of transportation? Me and Emery both agreed before the podcast, teleportation. So teleportation's out. We know teleportation is possible, but teleportation is out. We're not including that. So other than transportation, what is the best mode? Or no, other than teleportation, what is the best mode of transportation?
Well, let's see. Trains, you can't really do much with them because, they're on a track and you have to build those tracks various places. They can't go everywhere.
Sure.
So cars, there's not roads everywhere either. Maybe you can get an off-road truck, but what happens when you hit the water? Mm-hmm. So I can make up something?
Yeah.
I'd say a boat-car hybrid.
Boat-car hybrid, okay. I mean, this is all scientifically possible, so go ahead. Describe it.
Well, it goes on water and goes on land.
Okay, so it can. Well, we've seen this in movies before.
I'll add a perk. It's a submarine as well. So, can go underwater, tread water, and it's an off-road vehicle as well.
Well, cool. Y'all know I'm really into superconductivity and maglev technology. I'm going to make up one. Maybe this has been in some movie somewhere, but I'd say floating pods. All right. Everybody has their house, right? You don't even have to call up a self-driving car. There's going to be self-driving cars that'll take you from little places to little places. But if you need to travel across, let's say there's just one little room in your house, right? And it has maybe it has a seat, it has a TV in there, a fridge, whatever. But this little pod, there's a latch at the end, and you close this latch, and you basically tell the AI to take me to this place. So using maglev technology, this piece of your house, this pod that connects to your house, which is another room in your house, levitates off the ground, and you're basically flying to another distant place, whether you have to go. And these could be at supersonic speeds. It could be really quick and take you from New York to California super fast, or it could just be a slow ride that you get to enjoy the scenery and you get to watch TV, eat food.
Now, this is a debate, so I'm coming at you, Nick.
Sure.
What did I say earlier about WALL-E? This is going to promote laziness among human beings.
I guess.
You want an AI to take you to another room? What, you can't stand up and get the remote yourself? You know gonna make it take you. You gotta get your steps in. You gonna tell it to bring the pudding to you too?
Sure. You know why? Because by this time, CRISPR and AlphaFold will have solved obesity. We'll be able to eat whatever we want, and
so it's just gonna burn the calories for you.
Yeah, we'll be able to take out. We'll be able to use gene editing to increase our metabolism, decrease our propensity to obesity, and we'll be able to construct foods that taste just like a cheeseburger.
No,
but are not unhealthy.
No.
Yes.
Because if we did that, everyone could be an athlete. So what's the point of sports?
Well,
if everybody's genetically modifying themselves to be the same way.
You're absolutely correct. That's why we talked about gene editing. So, like I said, we talked about this in episode 5, the ethics of gene editing. That'll be tough. That is a great point. I
1 Emery, 0 Kaleb.
No.
Come on, what you got?
You
What
get
you
an
got?
extra point there. But what I'll say to that is, I mean, not everything can be solved. I don't know. No, that, you know what? I have no ego. That's a great point. But at the same time, the goal of humanity, the goal of technology is to be a supplement, is to enhance human life. And
Right.
this pod, you can work out in the pod. You can do whatever in the pod. This pod is just like truly cool. But let's just put, now that we've debated this a little bit, let's just put forth a whole bunch of cool technologies. I love maglev tech. Hoverboards, absolutely great. Not the hoverboards y'all see now, but truly hoverboards that you can be like Silver Surfer and swing through the city on.
Yeah.
Spider-Man swings, is that a good one?
Yeah, that is a great one, but I don't know how they would deal with traffic.
Yeah, for sure.
Phase shifting. It's sort of similar to teleportation, but it's
Okay.
in like short distances.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be teleportation in it. Well, it is.
It is.
But not like long distance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, phase shifting. I think that would be a cool one.
We got hyperloops. Hyperloops, we're constructing that now. We're able to transport ourselves to super quick speeds. Warp drives, which is something I just got into studying. Warp drives are a way to travel faster than light. So when we're talking about space travel, because we know that the universe is always expanding and it's super long. So in order to go towards distant galaxies, maybe we use I didn't even talk about wormholes. Wormholes is actually the best method of transportation to me. I love wormhole science, but using wormhole and warp drives, maybe we're able to create a multi-planetary universe like Star Wars, and where we're going from distant worlds to worlds, but we're able to all live within, like you're able to get from this planet to that planet in a quick amount of time.
All right. How about more domestically? How about if humans were like moles and we did some underground burrowing? Like those little chutes that they have at water parks that take you down the slide.
Uh-huh.
We have little chutes that shoot you to a different location. Like
I mean,
a little slide.
Elon Musk is working on tunnels in L.A. So he's working on, because we know the L.A. traffic is horrible. This isn't exactly L.A., but I'm wearing a Stanford shirt today. I mean, we know the California traffic is terrible. Hey, Stanford, talk to me.
If you're watching,
yeah, but
hit my boy. Hit my lawn.
Elon Musk is building many underground. He's going to build underground tunnels to do such things like that.
The light more, bro.
Oh yeah, because it's getting dark out here, man. We're running short up against the time. Is there any other type of transportation that's great? Slingshot technology is fun.
Catapults.
Yeah, catapult. Maybe putting yourself in a pod, and I mean that's
trebuchet.
what the first rocket ships were basically slingshot technology. Shoot, what else? I mean, we love teleportation.
Well,
this isn't necessarily,
but hyperflight.
Maybe wings. Maybe installing wings. Some type of winged flight. That'd be pretty cool.
Booster shoes.
Yeah. Booster shoes. That's pretty cool. Maybe what's one way we can use artificial intelligence? Maybe just. Yeah, this is sort of the shoots thing. Just walking in, you could see like people just walking into like little like pods like this and being shot to some other place within like a company or something.
This
like
one
that.
was on Fortnite. It's like bouncers. You're like a little pod and it has like a little suction cup, and then you just grab onto places. It's kind of like swinging. But
yeah, okay. I mean, bro, transportation. I mean, shoot, that's. I mean, I love transportation.
Yeah, they're gonna have to enact a bunch of different laws for that, though.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be lots of laws that face us for tomorrow, but there's so many cool sciences that you can just think about. Anything that you can think about that's transportation, there's probably some science that could make it feasible. There's something out there that we can do it. Anything that you can think of.
We keep one-upping ourselves. I say this almost nearly every week, but I really do think this is the best episode that we've put out up to date.
I mean, look, this episode was so well-rounded. We talked about philosophy.
Everything was interconnected.
Everything was.
We're just jumping to each other. We didn't even go off on that many tangents because it's all one thing, and we just spitting for real. This is like, how long is this?
How long we've talked for? A little like an hour and a half ish.
Dog, we've been freestyling for an hour and a half.
Just freestyling.
We Juice World only did an hour. Come on,
hey, dog.
Come
Juice
on.
World, one of the greatest
Give us some
freestylers of all
respect.
time.
We the greatest freestylers of all time.
Yeah, man. I mean,
and let me show you that I can not only talk but rap too.
No, man, let's do a song together, bro.
Oh,
let's end it with a song together. What song can we sing, bro?
All right, we'll do a cut. Think of a song. I got it. Girl, close your eyes and
let that rhythm get into you. Don't try to fight it. There ain't nothing that you can do. Relax your mind. Lay back and groove with mine. You gotta feel that beat.
And we can ride the boogie. Share that beat of love.
I wanna rock with you all night.
Dance you in the
Sunlight. I wanna rock with you all night. Wanna rock the night away. Feel that beat
of love.
Oh my gosh. Hey, man.
We just vibing.
Just vibing in this thing, man.
I said we were going freestyle, but we hit you with the smooth vocals.
Intro with Michael Jackson. We ended with Michael Jackson, man.
The king of pop, you know.
Yeah, bro.
Actually, dedicate this podcast episode to Michael Jackson.
To MJ, man. And look, Man in the Mirror. We were talking about earlier. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. That was our first segment.
Make a change.
Heal the world.
And
AI.
We told you
AI with AlphaFold proteins. That's healing the world. Come on,
Quit
son.
playing with us.
Come on. Rock with you. We're talking about transportation, you know.
Quit
Rocking with you.
I don't know about that.
That didn't connect. What can go along with what Michael Jackson song can go along with transportation?
You know I'm bad. Come on. Bad.
Come on. Transportation is taking you places. All right, bro. Oh yeah, I guess you haven't done one this episode. Oh man, another camera walk up. Oh, that's mean. And it's dark out here. You're just like a shadow across the screen. Uh huh. I just man, yeah, I don't even know if y'all can still see us out here, man. It's getting dark, but
yeah,
we got to bring this thing to a close. Look, y'all. This has been a phenomenal episode.
Really super duper appreciate y'all, everything you've done for us, showing love and support. The last episode did exponentially well, and we're really proud of all that. You know, if you were actually paying attention, you somewhere in the middle, you caught that shout out. Remember to leave it down below in the comments. If you're not on another platform, please come over to YouTube. Leave it down in the comments so we can shout you out, because we really care about you guys. We really respect and love everything that you're putting out for us. And, you know, this podcast is really useless if there's nobody listening. We're just talking to ourselves.
For sure. And, I mean, look, hey, again, shout out to Samantha Sammy. We love you.
Appreciate you. For real. Welcome
to the
Enlightened family.
You know why.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Enlightened family. You commented the hidden message. So, you know.
Episode 11. And there's more to come, but you already know that. Keep showing us support. We'll keep giving it out to y'all. Please become enlightened with us. You know, just comment down below something that you learned maybe too. Just tell us to research some stuff, maybe things you want us to cover up and touch up in the other episodes of the podcast.
Yeah,
we really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If
you're
on YouTube, gotta put it in the promo somewhere. But
listen, whether you're listening or watching, just continue to do what you're doing wherever you may find us. And you know what?
Yep.
Thanks for tuning in today, man. Episode 11, baby.
Let's go. Appreciate y'all. Goodbye.
Love.